This is file number 241340, People versus Austin James Hovarder. That's you, sir?
Yes, sir.
You're here with your lawyer, Mr. Ross Truckee. Mr. Truckee, what are we gonna do here? Just plead to the charge?
Yeah, Mr. Hovarder's indicated a desire to plead as charged.
All right, Mr. Hovarder, you're charged with indecent exposure. It's alleged that on or about July 20th, you made an exposure of your person. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. I know that you've been struggling with your mental health. I did a couple of mental health petitions.
Yes, sir.
And you got brought in for evaluation. Are you still on parole?
Yes, sir.
Do you
I'm
understand?
supposed to be going to a first step. That's what we're trying to do. Go to first step. It's a psych foundation in Battle Creek.
All right, well, I don't have any objection to that. You certainly need some mental health help. But this charge is a misdemeanor punishable by up to a year in jail, fine of up to $1,000. Do you understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
Anybody threaten you to get you to plead to this
No,
charge?
sir.
Or promise you anything?
No, sir.
You understand that by pleading to this charge, you'll be giving up your right to have a trial in front of a judge or jury. There will be no trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If you had a trial, you'd have the right to be represented by an attorney. Mr. Truckee is here with you. You also could hire an attorney of your own choosing if you wished. If you had a trial, you'd have the right to have any of the witnesses for or against you subpoenaed to come to court so they could be questioned under oath. You would have the right to take the witness stand and testify on your own behalf. But you don't have to because you have a right not to testify. And if you did not wish to testify, the judge or jury could not hold your silence against you. And you have the right to be presumed innocent unless they were to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, this took place at the Country Hearth Inn on July 20th.
Yes, sir.
You're pretty distinctive looking. They can certainly,
Yes, sir.
and you and I met when you were 17 years old.
Yes, sir. And could I explain my side of the story,
Yeah,
sir?
well,
You
they
know,
say
I'll
that
put my
some
hand
point-
on the Bible. I'll tell
All right, well, you don't
what
have to do that, but they say you pulled your pants down.
Not at all,
All
sir.
right, tell me what happened.
I urinated in front of some females, and is what happened. I was at a buddy's house, and I was just smoking marijuana, sir, and we were partying, and I had a female come over, and the females at the Country Hearth at the other hotel room didn't like the female that I had come over. So now they're arguing because I have a female come over, and they're not mad at me. They're just mad because I have a female come over. And now the female that I have come over, I tell her she's got to leave because I want to chill with my friend that I'm chilling with. Well, now she leaves. Well, now the females are still mad because I'm there. And now they're there. Now that I got to leave. Now I walk outside and now they're yelling at me. They're talking and I didn't even approach no door. And it says that I approached the door. And it's what I'm going to tell you. And does this sound like anything I would say? But what is it? Does that sound like a female?
I think you've established.
Okay, but I'm not going to say what she said.
Yeah, you don't need
But
to.
does-
Well, they said you offered him some meth and a meal.
Meth and meat?
Meth and a meal.
No, meth and a meat.
Meth and meat, okay.
Meth and meat or meth and a meal?
Meth
Okay,
and
but it
meat.
says that I knocked on a door and then
All right, well, at some
and then
point-
she opened the door and then I said, do you want some meth and meat? Does
Well,
that sound like something? I
Well,
would
at
say,
some
sir?
point, did you urinate in front of these ladies?
Sir, yes, I did. That's what I did. I urinated in front of these females. They got mad at me and they called the police because I urinated. in front of them.
That's
All right, well, that'll get us over the hump here.
Yes, sir. And that's exactly what I did, sir. I urinated right in front of these females and they got super mad and called the police on me.
All right.
And as soon as I walked out the door, that's
We
what I
don't need
did.
anything else, so I don't want you to say anything.
Yes, sir. But I'm very respectful. I have
All right, well, Austin, this could result in a violation of your parole. Your agent kept trying to send you back and the Department of Corrections keeps saying we don't want him back. But they're trying to get you into some sort of mental health facility.
Yes, sir. It's first step psych eval. It's a psych foundation, and then they're gonna send me to Bear River and Traverse City. And, sir, if anything happened, could you give me probation even? And this is what would happen. If you give me strict probation and you strict the reins and I'll do GPS.
Well, you're already on
monitoring.
parole, so I'm
Yeah,
not,
no, but this would even be a gift from God. You could give me probation is what they would do. I only have 4 months on parole. And if this happened before, they would discharge me from parole if I discharge from parole in 4 months. And then I have a job, I'll get a job, and you can strict the reins on the misdemeanor probation. And then I'll discharge from parole and just be on misdemeanor probation. And they would probably give me a chance and discharge me from parole early, just so I could, because I'm still on misdemeanor probation. And I'll pay all my fines. I got a job. I'll do good, sir.
well, you got another fine that you owe from a disorderly person that was earlier. And we haven't had a very good success rate on probation.
I promise you I'll do probation, sir. I
Well,
promise you.
You're under there is a very intelligent man,
I promise you, sir. Yes, sir.
and you've squandered a lot of it. When you were a young guy, I think,
I've grown up, sir. I just did 8 years in prison. I just got out. I promise you I'm a grown man. It's not fooling around no more. I don't break the law. Sir,
That's what the judge finished.
yes, sir. He's talking about my past. He knows my whole history, sir. He's known me
Yes.
since I was 17 years old. Sir, I'm grown now, sir. I promise you I don't break the law. I barely even drink anymore. And you know how drinking's been my downfall?
yes,
I barely even drink anymore. You know all I do now? Smoke weed, dab pen. You know how it's legal? That's all I do now, sir.
well, it isn't legal while you're on parole, but what you didn't need to get involved in is methamphetamine.
Yeah,
which-
that's over, sir.
all right,
That's
well,
over.
I'm gonna leave this up to Tracy Shaw, but she's got a detainer on you. And they've got a plan for you to go to 2 different facilities. You would be in there longer than I would have you on probation. So I'm gonna order 12 days, credit 9, giving 3 days to serve. I'm gonna waive all the fines except a minimum of $125 or 2 additional days. They'll provide this to your PO. Sounds
Appreciate
like
you, sir.
you're gonna get in, and first you need to deal with the mental health issues, then you need
Yes,
to
sir,
do with
but
the
it's not
substance.
so much, sir. And you've known me my whole life. I'm very respectful, sir. And these females, and dude, they could have cried rape on me. This is scared straight.
Well,
Sir,
I even knew you before you were
This is
17.
a big
You've always
deal.
been very respectful to me, but you're
Yes, sir.
killing yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Methamphetamine, sir. I'm done with it. This is scared straight. I promise you, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, good luck to
Appreciate
you,
you.
Mr. Hobart.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
You guys, sir. Appreciate
Thank
you.
you. Provide to Tracy Shaw. That finishes the people that are in custody. There are a couple of themes running through our morning. One is mental health struggles. The other is drug and substance abuse addiction, which is sort of the same theme of every day. But watching his decline over the years has not been fun to watch. And I'm not a fan of face tattoos. That means you're just giving up on proper society. This is complicated. Let's see if I can get it all straight. Miss Kitchen was charged in file. Do these in chronological order. File 24716 OT with driving a vehicle with a suspended license and no valid operator's license in the village of White Pigeon on April 30th of 2024. Then, just a short time later, on May 4th of 2024, she was driving a vehicle once again, charged with driving with a suspended license. Then, in, I guess, May 4th, once again, I think it's part of the same case as we determined, she was charged with possession of methamphetamine and driving suspended. She pled to use of methamphetamine. There was another time that she drove. She drove on December 27th of 2023, failed to stop after a collision, no operator's license. That matter was dismissed as part of this plea agreement. She also got stopped in February of 2024, and they only charged her with no proof of insurance. Then I learned that there was a methamphetamine undertone to this, and I told the defendant that I was going to have her tested when I saw her today. She pled to driving suspended and one use of methamphetamine charge. I gave her a PR bond, let her out of jail. She also pled to no ops, no proof of insurance, and speeding, and filed 24716. Autumn Kiefer is here, and I asked her to do the drug testing for me. How did we do on this one?
She was positive for methamphetamine and marijuana. She does admit to using methamphetamine in the past week.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. George, what would you like me to know here?
Thank you, Your Honor. Well, we had a number of matters that were in front of the court, and I know that my client wanted to get everything resolved so that we could stop running away from this, come in, take responsibility for it, and move on. But, in our last conversation, we had the new complaint that alleged possession of methamphetamine, which she pled to use. I think that kind of crystallized what was going on with her. She has some struggles that she's dealing with and compounding it with that methamphetamine use. So, all in all, I think that she would benefit from a term of probation. She has a lot of outstanding fines and costs that would give her the opportunity to help to try to pay those off. Also access pivotal and other resources to try to address this issue before it becomes something that just dominates her life. She's still very young, so she can make the decision on which way to go. I know that one of the issues that she's been talking to me about is when the vehicle was towed after the stop, a lot of her personal effects were in there, including her ID, social security card. But I believe that she had bought the vehicle from an individual, but the title was never transferred. So she doesn't have the ability to access that. So that's kind of added to the mountain of issues that she's dealing with. But she understands that she's not going to be able to drive for a while. She needs to take a break from that, take responsibility for her actions that have kind of put her license in peril. But I think first and foremost, she needs to address this methamphetamine issue and get some of those resources so she can think clearly, be happy and healthy, and then move on and try to rebuild her life. Thank you.
I couldn't figure out what I was dealing with until I learned the methamphetamine was in the picture. And then maybe it made more sense. As we saw, she was driving with a suspended license in December. She drove with a suspended license or no license in February. She drove again in April. She drove again in May. And in May, she had methamphetamine in her possession. She has a bunch of these little ancillary things. Like no proof of insurance and no proof of registration, and that sort of got left in there. I wasn't clear on the February incident, February 14th, because the state police didn't charge her with no ops or driving suspended. They just gave her some tickets, which she didn't pay. She was working at Pizza Hut. Is that right?
Yes, but I lost my job pretty much really shortly after the last time I was here.
Okay. Where are you living now?
I'm still living at my mother's house.
Where are your kids?
They live with me.
You knew that I was going to test you for methamphetamine today, and you couldn't not use. I had another woman today that I told her I was going to test her, and she managed to not use, at least long enough to test negative, you can't stop. And this is, I don't know how you're paying for it. I think all your money was going to methamphetamine and you just keep driving. So let's take care of this 716, no valid operator's license. How much jail credit do we have here? Cause I let you out of jail on it. Then you didn't appear on a last pretrial and we had to pick you up and you really were not tracking real straight. Got arrested on June 6th and I let you out on June 6th. Miss Kitchen, your driver's license is gonna be way suspended for all these traffic matters. On the 24746, I went to Pizza Hut on Friday. It was very good. Takeout. Remember, 1 day credit, 1 day, leaving 0 days to serve. I'm gonna waive the fine and cost in that case. They used to suspend your driver's license for use of controlled substance charges, which they don't anymore, which is fine with me. It isn't really related. This felony methamphetamine charge was reduced to a misdemeanor. Put you on probation. I guess we can try 7411 on them. I think she's eligible for it. She had another case that got dismissed, but it wasn't drug related. There's 0 fine. You owe enough money as it is. $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, $150 attorney fee, and $960 probation oversight fee. I expect you'll do that in a year, so to save money. 125 plus 150 plus 960 is 1,236. All these bonds are PR bonds. Keep letting you out of jail. You came in and presented yourself on the warrant, so I think there's only 1 day credit. We're gonna do substance abuse counseling and treatment as directed, no alcohol, no drugs, and no methamphetamine. Are you seeing Pivotal now?
I don't go to Pivotal. I have therapy that I do once a week, but
Who's it with?
that's through Heartstone Guidance Center in Grand Rapids.
All right, well,
It's online.
All right, and you need more than that. No drugs, no controlled substances, submit to chemical test on demand, or 31 days in jail, credit 1. You're going to jail right now for 30 days. And have some forced clean time to start this off. You can't stop using methamphetamine and you're killing yourself. You're doing a terrible disservice to your children, and it impairs your judgment to the fact that you just keep driving with no license.
I haven't been driving since I got arrested.
Well, that's a good thing. That was the 5 times before that is what caused the problems. But you're going to jail right now to get some forced clean time, start this probation on a positive note. You can go with the court officer.
My daughter's about to start school and I'm taking her school shopping.
Yes, I don't enjoy this at all, Miss Kitchen, but this is on you. You can go with the court officer.
What do you want the charge under first?
What?
Probation violation or?
No, it's a
use of
sentence on a use of methamphetamine charge. All right, we have one more to do, which is amazing how much we've done.